What's up, peeps? It's Shannon and Cassandra here once again with Two Towers, Lord of the Rings. And we're going to do one last attempt as Legolas, and then I guess we're switching to Aragorn.
Yeah. This is some kind of bullshit.
So last time I had said that on the next time we would be talking about a almost customer service issue. And so what it is dealing with the staff at conventions.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you and I both had a couple interesting experiences the other day. And also, I do occasionally go on the official Facebook forum or page for Fan Expo. Mm-hmm. And one of the comments was looking forward to getting yelled at by the con staff this year. Because this is actually a common issue, is that the staff have this tendency to be, I guess, almost rude towards guests, and they make it very difficult for guests to enjoy themselves. I've had a lot of excellent experiences with convention staff, but that being said, there were two times that I can think of. One of them, he wasn't exactly rude, but I couldn't see the reason why we were spoken to. Mm. And the other one was actually just somebody being snappish. So the first one was we're trying to decide what we were going to do. And so we stepped off the path because we don't want to block people. Because otherwise you're stopping in the middle of the laneway and people are going to be basically getting mad, and you're going to be blocking traffic if you just stop. Mm-hmm. So we were by the area where the guest appearances are, and how they have it this year is they don't have any stanchions or anything. It's literally taped off laneways. So we picked a laneway for a guest who wasn't even going to be appearing that day. Nobody was in the lineup. We stepped off into that laneway so that we would not be blocking people. And we had been discussing for about a minute, where we're trying to go. And a gentleman came up to us and said, "Can you please step on the other side of the red line?" And I also double checked to be like, is there actually anyone in this lineup? And there was absolutely no one. Mm-hmm. So we were so basically we were told, if you're going to stop and have a conversation, you need to block traffic.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with at all. I mean, if you're in an empty laneway and there are no guests going to be coming through, why does it matter?
Yeah. There's obviously protocol, but it's a stupid protocol.
Yeah, because if people are stopping, they have to stop somewhere. Otherwise, you get congestion and you get the complaints that you've gotten every year prior. Mm-hmm. That being said, the other moment was we were deciding to go back to, I think it's the South Building. Oh yeah, playing games, right? Okay, yeah, completely forgot about that. So okay, so I think we were trying to go back to the South Building, and we were like, I jokingly said, "Hey, do you want to are there any of the guests you want to see?" Because before we head back, because it's going to be a long walk back otherwise. And do you want to see if any of the Harry Potter people actually showed up? Because there was a lineup for Tom Felton, and we're like, well, is Tom actually coming? Because we didn't see him when we were there. So we just wanted to quickly stop to just quickly glance across to see if he actually was. And the instant oh my god, holy crap. The instant we stepped off the path, dude turns around and he's one of the security. So I'm not sure if he's actually with the convention center, because he had a name tag that said International Convention Center, mm-hmm. or whatever the name of the convention center is.
Should we try it?
I guess, yeah.
I don't really want to do the first part over again.
I can do it. I'll get used to the troll. But so I don't know whose staff he actually is, but he whirled around and was like, "You can't stop here, you need to move." And somebody else who had stopped to quickly take a picture not of a cosplayer, of the lineup of guests, where literally everyone's a dot.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why they don't want anyone stopping there, though, is because they don't want you taking pictures for free of the celebrity guests.
Well, you literally couldn't see them from
Well,
there.
they don't care.
Well,
Especially if you have a good camera.
And what if they're taking a picture of the floor? Because it was actually
you don't
really
know
impressive.
what a person's taking a picture of, but they always assume the worst.
Yeah.
And I know from years previous with similar experiences in the same pathway of people doing the exact same thing. And she did have her camera out and was... Actually, more than one person had the camera out and was trying to take pictures.
Like, I get it that you don't want to stop traffic because, sometimes, like, I know in that area a lot of people will be like, oh, you're cosplaying, let me stop and take a picture, and you're blocking everything. Mm-hmm. So they want to prevent that. And I get the whole not wanting free pictures, but I mean, it's not like you're getting a picture with you and them. Because, like, you can take all the pictures you want at panels. You're not paying to go into the panels. Yeah. So I don't really think that's necessarily the reason, but it was literally, we had just stepped off to quickly peek to see, and he literally, that instant, the instant we did, turned around to us and said, you can't stop here, please, and then added as an afterthought, said, like, please move.
I don't think he said please.
There was a please, but it was like a complete afterthought. And the gentleman next to us said, do you mind if I ask why? And the guy's like, it's a fire hazard. And I don't find that to be a legitimate excuse, because it would be a fire hazard if you stopped and sat down, absolutely. But you're actually stepping off the path so that you can stop for a brief moment without interrupting traffic. Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, like,
literally ran into that.
If the fire alarm went off at that moment, are you a fire hazard, or are you going to move and leave like with everybody else? So I've had this happen at conventions before, where they've said, like, you can't sit here because it becomes a fire hazard, and I get that. Sitting, yes, you are a fire hazard, because then if people are trying to exit the building, they might trip over you, and you could get trampled. But stepping off to the side for just a quick second, I feel like the staff are almost overreacting. Would it be going too far to say that?
I think they're just coming up with an excuse they think people will accept at face value. From someone who worked in an environment similar to that.
Here's the thing, is I've worked in an environment similar to that, and my thing is, if it's because you don't want people taking pictures, just tell me it's because you don't want people taking pictures. Don't come up with, like, random excuses, because then I can say, oh, we were actually just taking a quick peek. And it's also, do you have to be rude and snappish about it, or can you say, please do not stop here?
Well, sometimes even the person working doesn't think the reason they have to send you away isn't that great. So that's sometimes why you lie and say, it's for this reason. Because this actually is also a reason, maybe a stronger reason for doing it.
Okay. But at that point, do they still need to be rude?
No.
So I think one of the problems is, like, a lot of the staff, like, I am a lot lighter on the staff, because I was good friends with a number of security staff at Anime North, and I've done other a lot of conventions. And I'm actually considering being a volunteer at conventions in future. So I do know a lot of the staff are volunteers, but even so, like, I think they should probably train the volunteer staff on how to appropriately deal with people. Because it's exactly like the hospitalities. It's a customer service thing, where if you piss people off, they're not going to come back. And so a lot of that has to do with training your staff on how to appropriately deal with people. You don't become rude and snappish with them until they start giving you lip. I'm not saying, like, it's okay to be rude with people even if they give you lip, but, like, don't get pissy with people until they've been pissy with you for no reason. Like, yeah, I know it's the second day of the convention. I understand it's a lot of people you're dealing with. It's really hot. You've probably been on your feet all day. But at the same time, so have all the other people who are there that you're dealing with. So treat them with the same courtesy you'd want to be treated with. I feel like this is a theme.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I guess anyone who's had experiences that positive, negative, dealing with security staff and just staff in general, leave a comment. I guess we're going to end it here. That's it for this video, guys. Until next time, go out and play, peeps. Bye!
It's fucking Legolas.
I'm not saying that it's not him, but... So I had a bit of an oopsie.
Oopsie.